Hello, and welcome to our sixth session. In the previous session, we gained an understanding of the fears that can hang out underneath or on top of our anger. In this session, we'll be rewiring how you typically navigate setting boundaries and dealing with conflict. If you are an anger erupter, you might react in an exaggerated way to conflict and setting boundaries. Your boundaries might be overly fortified and walled off. Perhaps you get the slightest whiff of conflict in an email from a coworker and you turn into a raging bull, firing off a vengeful email in response. This is what we call an exaggerated response. You are responding to the situation at hand disproportionate to what the situation actually calls for. If you are an anger stuffer, you might underreact. When there is conflict or it is time to set or uphold a boundary because a family member is being verbally abusive, you might retreat from conflict, playing down the situation and collapsing your boundaries because you don't want to rock the boat any further. Again, you are responding to the situation at hand in a disproportionate way. Cultivating mindful anger does not mean that we only interact with the world from a peaceful, calm, Buddha-like state. Mindful anger means that we have grown our capacity to respond appropriately to the situation in front of you. You are in the driver's seat of the car, and anger from the back seat can safely inform how you then choose to show up. Sometimes a situation where someone is being abusive calls for us to summon a fiercely powerful boundary with that person. Other times, when someone cuts you off in traffic, though we may want to ram them with our car, we realize that remaining calm, grounded, and non-reactive is the safest thing for everyone in the car. In this guided practice, you will be recalling a situation from your past where you had to navigate some conflict with a partner, family member, a friend, or coworker, and you didn't handle it as well as you would have liked. We'll have a chance in this meditation to rewrite the script with your new relationship with anger. So let's go ahead and bring this into a guided meditation right now. Go ahead and get into a comfortable seated position and begin with taking some slow, steady breaths, breathing all the way down to your low belly. Softening your jaw, relaxing the front of your throat, and releasing your low belly. And when you're ready, I invite you to think of a situation where you needed to have a difficult conversation with someone. And start now by just seeing that conversation play out in your mind's eye, noticing not what you wanted to happen, but what actually did happen. Maybe you stuffed your true thoughts and feelings and chose just to keep the peace, or maybe you got defensive and reacted. Just notice what did happen and start with just extending some kindness, some compassion to this past version of yourself. Continue taking these deep, slow breaths. You've been gaining some deeper understanding of the benefits of mindful anger and what it is to express your truth and articulate your needs and boundaries from a healthy, clear place. Now we're going to imagine rewriting that script, taking some deep breaths all the way down to your low belly. How would you have most wanted to communicate with this person? What would your words and actions have looked like if you weren't erupting or stuffing your truth? If instead you were driving the car, grounded, clear, and centered in yourself? Go ahead and imagine this new conversation taking place right now. And even if the other person gets reactive, even if they aren't grounded and centered, see if you can continue to remain steady like a mighty oak tree. You're really trying something new here. Taking some deep breaths and really trying on feeling in your body what it is like to communicate with this person from a clear, grounded, and healthy place. You aren't stuffing your needs, you're not people pleasing, and you're also not getting hot headed or reactive either. How does this feel? What surprises you? And just notice how this scenario plays out. Noticing what's different about this version versus the real one. And take a deep breath right now, placing your hand on your heart, and just acknowledge yourself for being willing to have the courage to speak and act from this centered, clear, grounded you. It can be very vulnerable to do this kind of work, even if it's just in our imagination. Begin to come back to this moment, coming back to the room and opening your eyes. And just take note of anything that you said or did in your imagination in this scenario that really helped you speak your truth from a grounded and clear place. Imagine if you could show up this way in all of your challenging interactions. Really imagine what your life would look like if you did this. And remember, healthy anger doesn't always need to look pretty and peaceful. Healthy anger means that we respond to the situation at hand in a manner that is appropriate and aligned for what the situation calls for. Now, you've done some great work today, and I'll see you in our final session.